Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is TDT, the developing trader, coming back at you again with another video. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's make this one quick, short, and sweet. Looking at the US dollar right now, I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking at this moment. As you can see, price at this moment, we are waiting to see if we are able to close this inversion fair value gap. You see price has wicked through. We want to see if it can continue to close this gap and head down into this imbalance below, or will we have some more strength and lead our price action into this gap above. Before it gets to that gap, like I was telling you last week, we want to monitor the quadrants on this monthly wick. You can see we got up to about almost to the EQ of that quadrant. That would also be consequent encroachment. The EQ of the wicks would be a gap. It is noticed as a gap. It is read as a gap. Okay, so we want to see if we can get to the consequent encroachment of this, or if it's going to break this monthly gap. Let's go into the weekly and take a look at what we have here. I'm going to remove those. I want to remove this Fibonacci. So last week on Sunday, I was showing you guys this here. We had a good reaction off of this after taking this liquidity. Most of last week was a lot of consolidation. We did take this and then we just consolidated in this range, and now we are diving lower. So I'm watching that weekly gap. I'm also looking at this gap below. We have this here along with another inversion gap, this huge gap all the way down to the imbalance. We want to see if price is going to continue going down, or will it respect that gap from the monthly and continue to give us a run higher. This is only the first week in April, so we got a lot of time before that monthly candle closes. We can have a lot happen between now and then. Let's take a look at the daily. As you can see, we had FOMC at 2 p.m. today, and this gap was actually seen last night due to the 2-week ceasefire that's happening over in Iran. This appeared to be a reaction to that. This happened excuse me, this happened right at 6 p.m. going into the Asian session last night, which was very interesting. So for the rest of the week, I do believe price is going to want to try and balance out this empty area of price. So when it opens this evening, I'm looking to see if price can get back into this area and if it wants to close it, or will we continue falling lower. Okay, so that's all I'm looking at on Dixie right now. Let's go ahead and jump into NQ. All right, and looking at NQ here now, ladies and gentlemen, the 5 viewers that watched my previous video, go back and take a look at it, and you will see that I called for price to go ahead and snatch this liquidity above the market. You can see that we have tapped into that liquidity zone. Price is now pulled back, and I'm looking at this small imbalance here, this small little efficiency in price, and I see that during the regular trading hours today, we did close within that gap. So I want to see where we open in another 4 minutes. But this was kind of expected. I told you on the weekly analysis, once I seen that we created this price action, it was this gap here on the way up. I missed it on the week before, or I may have it wrong, but I talked about this on Saturday. I missed it. I missed showing this on the week before, and then I saw it on Sunday, and then I told you guys that because of this, I think that price may want to dip in and push up and get this liquidity above the market. The reason I did not target this liquidity as a run that we would aggressively take is because it already cleared the liquidity before dropping. But you could see here, it reached for it, but it just kept building liquidity above here, and I believe that they would aggressively go after that liquidity, which it has done. With that gap lower in Dixie, we saw this run up aggressively in NASDAQ. If you look at the video on the weekend, you will also see that I talked about this 3-month and the fact that we want to see what kind of reaction we have coming out of this gap. In all honesty, I was expecting us to probably dive a bit deeper in and get this gap below, but it looks like price wants to give us another run for all-time highs. So we'll see if it has the strength to do that. Today, looking at the price action, I really wanted to see how we would engage this liquidity. So I was thinking to myself that perhaps we would go up, take this liquidity, and create another wick with a very aggressive sell going into FOMC. This was what my thought process was. But looking at how that price action has delivered today, I would really have to wait and see what Thursday gives us tomorrow. If you remember on that video as well, I told you that I think that Thursday will either give us a high or a low of the week based on the price action. So we want to see if that unfolds on this weekly candle. It would have to be super aggressive selling that comes into the market starting tomorrow or going into Friday to actually turn this candle into a wick. I can't say I'm confident in that happening because of the way price delivered today, but I knew that we would want to come back in and balance out this very illiquid price. Go and look at the videos. I'm not just saying this. You'll see that I have been saying that to my one viewer. Thank you for tuning in, but it has delivered. So right now, as I just said, going into Thursday, I want to see how we open in the New York session as we're up into this area and price right now. I want to see if we can go and perhaps touch this consequent encroachment of this price action, or do we just blow by it? You know, if we blow by it, all-time highs is on the way. But if we get a very strong rejection going into Thursday, then we would have to see what price wants to do. It depends on how aggressive that rejection is, okay? So I'm saying that to say, if price just kind of stays up in this area and we create a new gap here, next week might be some consolidation, like a little pullback, and then price may want to dip into the gap that's created, and these will become inversion gaps, and then we will possibly be on our way to all-time highs. That is yet to be seen. So that is what I'm looking at for the end of this week. And that's basically all I have for today, okay? So we did get our target this week. It was kind of obvious that they wanted to push this up and, you know, just go ahead and wipe out that liquidity real quick. So we'll see what price gives us as we continue into Thursday and Friday, okay? You see, we just had price open. Doesn't have any major, look like it has a little gap lower. It closed here, open below, so we have a little gap lower. I'm expecting price to come back into this area. We'll see if it wants to give a reach up and pull back, or will we start retracing now back into this inefficiency below price action, okay, below at this area where I'm rubbing my cursor. So that's what we're looking for the end of the week, and that's gonna be my video for this midweek. I hope you guys are having a great week as always. Like I was telling you, once my family leaves next week, I will start doing some pre-market demo trading, showing how I interact with price. So I hope you guys come in and sit with me, and you know, we can just talk price. I'm going to have to say that anyone that comes in, let's just be respectful. I'm not really here to listen to anybody's trade ideas. I'm just showing you what I do, because I'm very confident in my strategy and how I engage price. I'm not looking to quote unquote learn anything from anybody. I'm just going to show you guys what I do and how I engage. So if you're interested in that, I implore you to come and chill out with me early mornings. It's going to be from 6 a.m. to about 9 to 10:30, 11ish, depending on my work day. When I have to work in my business, some days I'll be able to chill straight till like lunchtime, and then other times I'm gonna have to leave at around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Okay, so that'll help me record myself when I'm trading and looking at mistakes that I may be making. I can then follow up and do like a review of that trade day, my mindset, what I was thinking. Whether it's a positive day or a negative day, it's all about building experience and getting better step by step and day by day. That's something that we all should be doing in pursuit of mastery. Okay? And I'm trying to master my approach, my psychology, and the way that I engage price. Okay? So once again, this is TDT, the Developing Trader. You guys have a great day. I wish you all the most abundant, the most profitable, and the most, let's say, what word can I use here? Love. I wish you all love this week. There's so much hate in the air. It's all this war. It's all this negativity. What I'm saying is, let's love one another. Let's focus on positive things in our life, and let's just continue to do well. Okay, guys? Thanks for tuning in, and I'll holler at you guys on my weekly analysis. This is TDT. I'm out. Peace. Hey guys, so I just want to add a little small disclaimer here. As I was reviewing my video, there were a few things that I misinterpreted. So this week we had FOMC meeting. We had FOMC minutes. That's what they call it. Let me look at it again. It's FOMC meeting minutes. That is not the statement. Okay, so that's a mistake that I made. I knew better, but for some reason I'm talking and I'm saying it like this is the FOMC conference, and the statement, it was not. It was just the FOMC meeting. Okay, one more thing on this weekly, I also want you to look at this inefficiency below. All of this we should be looking at all of this together. Okay, just something I wanted to add. Y'all have a great day.